get their fill of the sweet science 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a vast library of over 1,200 events from boxing's most memorable bouts of all time, Boxing TV melds the past greats with today's promising young stars. Boxing TV is the free go-to destination for everything boxing, including classic bouts, live events, and news and information. Boxing TV is available on Local Now, Distro TV, Sports.tv, Select TV, and www.watchboxing.tv. Follow Abrams Boxing on social media at Abrams Boxing on Twitter, Abrams Boxing on YouTube, and at Marc Abrams Boxing on Instagram. Hello, boxing fans. Welcome to another edition of the Abrams Boxing Show. I'm Marc Abrams, and we have a big show planned for you this week. Very super bantamweight-centric shows. We got Ronny Rios, who faces MJ Akhmadaliev this Saturday on DAZN for 222-pound titles. Also, Oleh Dovhun, who's an undefeated fighter from Ukraine. He's ranked number 4 by the WBA. He's 14-0. And we'll be talking to him later in the program. Let's kick things off right away, as last Saturday night in New York's Madison Square Garden, the Hulu Theater, Artur Beterbiev scored a second-round stoppage over Joe Smith Jr. to unify not one, not two, but 3 light heavyweight championship belts. He added the WBO belt to his already WBC and IBF belts. Smith came out, got hit, got knocked down late in the first round. Beterbiev just showed. I just think it was a big class difference. Joe Smith is a fine fighter, but Artur Beterbiev, he's an animal in there. 18-0, 18 knockouts. The only undefeated fighter who has a perfect knockout record, who's a world champion. Smith falls to 28-4. You know, we talk about all these fights that we want to be made, that we want to get made, whether it's Spence and Crawford or fights in that ilk, Tyson Fury versus the winner of the Joshua Usyk rematch. But I think one of the biggest fights now to be made would be Dimitri Bivol against Artur Beterbiev. Bivol coming off the big win against Canelo Alvarez about 6 weeks ago, and now with the 3 belts that Artur Beterbiev has, that's definitely a big fight to be made in the light heavyweight division. It's a fight hopefully can get made. We'll see down the line as it looks like Beterbiev will fight Anthony Yarde in October in England as a mandatory. Then maybe we can see the Artur Beterbiev Dimitri Bivol showdown. The co-feature that night saw Robeisy Ramirez go to 10-1, knocked just 6 knockouts, stopped last week's guest on our show, Abraham Nova, in round 5 of their featherweight bout, which, it wasn't a featherweight elimination bout on paper per se, but it was a de facto elimination bout, as Robeisy Ramirez will look to get a big shot at one of the featherweight champions in the near future. Lots of fights going on this week. Friday, ProBox TV will feature the WBO Light Flyweight Championship as Jonathan Bamba Gonzalez, 25-3-1 with 14 knockouts, takes on Marc Anthony Barriga, 11-1, 2 knockouts. That fight will take place on ProBox TV from the Osceola Heritage Park Arena in Kissimmee, Florida. Saturday, DAZN offers a quadruple header of world title fights. We'll go over them real quickly here. We have Jesse Bam Rodriguez, 15-0, 10 knockouts, continues his tough schedule as he will make the first defense of his WBC Super Flyweight Championship against the always dangerous Srisaket Sor Rungvisai. Rungvisai 55-1 with 43 knockouts. Rungvisai is most known for the 2 wins over Chocolatito Gonzalez, including a devastating knockout in their rematch. Rodriguez, who, he's on his way, and especially if he wins and wins impressively on Saturday night, is on his way to becoming a superstar in the sport. Even at 115 pounds, he's one of the great young talents of the sports, and he's shown all the guts in the world fighting a guy like Rungvisai in just his first defense and still only his 16th fight. Also, WBA and IBF Super Bantamweight champion Murodjon Akhmadaliev will take on Ronny Rios. Akhmadaliev 10-0, 7 knockouts. Rios 33-3 with 16 knockouts. We'll talk to Ronny Rios in just a couple of minutes. WBC flyweight champion Julio Cesar Martinez 18-2, 14 knockouts. Rematches McWilliams Arroyo. Arroyo 21-4, 16 knockouts out of Puerto Rico. This fight is a rematch of a fight from several months back where it was looking to be an exciting war as both guys were dropped in the first round, but there was a cut that forced a no contest in round 2 of their fight. So let's see if they can pick up where they left off, just willing away on each other Saturday night in San Antonio, Texas. And also on the card will be the undisputed welterweight champion Jessica McCaskill, 11-2 with 4 knockouts, taking on Alma Ibarra, 10-1 with 4 knockouts. That fight will be for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. As we mentioned before, Ronny Rios will be taking on MJ Akhmadaliev for 240-pound world title fights. And I had a chance earlier this week to talk to Ronny Rios about his second world title opportunity. And this is, let me see here. Let's pull it up. This is how it went. Now joining me on the line is Ronny Rios, who takes on MJ Akhmadaliev this Saturday night live on DAZN for the 122-pound world championships for 2 belts at 122 pounds. Ronny, we're just starting fight week. We're a few days out. How you feeling?
I'm feeling very, very excited and very ready, to be honest with you. And just I just feel very relaxed too. So that's a big positive.
I mean, this is your second chance at a world title opportunity. Dropped the fight to Ray Vargas a couple years back. How did that experience prepare you for Saturday night, having already gone through the championship fight experience?
It prepared me a lot mentally, more than anything, because, you just got to go out there. And I think at the end of the day, you just got to be relaxed and listen to your corner more important than anything. And I just think when I fought Ray Vargas, I just let the event get too much to me. And I think that really hurted me and that really haunted me for a very long time. So, it's just you live and you learn. And that was a learning experience for me.
What are your thoughts on Akhmadaliev?
I mean, he's a champion with 2 belts for no reason. So he's a good, awkward fighter. But he likes to counterpunch too. And can't say he hits hard because I've never been hit by him. So, we'll find out on Saturday. We'll find out on Saturday. But at the same time, it's okay because I feel like we're ready. I feel like I have an awesome team behind me. And I just feel that we're more than ready. So I'm good too. So, I'm very confident heading into this fight, more important than anything. And I'm ready.
Talk about your resiliency. Like you say, you have 3 losses, but it seems like after each loss, you've been able to kind of get yourself together and go on some winning streaks. And this is no exception. You've had 4 fights in a row since your last loss. What's been the key to that?
I think the key to that has been passion, and also you got to believe in yourself to keep going. Because like I said, when I came back after the Zol fight, I'm not just doing this for the money. I'm really not. I'm here because I want to show to myself, more important than anything, that I do belong here and that I am better than most of these fighters. So that's why I'm here. I just want to prove to myself. At the end of the day, I don't want to go out there and prove anyone wrong. I want to prove myself right. I do belong here, and just everything is led up to this reason. So we're ready for this.
You're a fighter who's been on the scene for a little while now, and you're now not the only one in the family going through all this stuff. Your brother, Alexis Rocha, is an emerging welterweight contender. How much pride and enjoyment are you getting to see, all the success that Alexis has been having the last couple of years?
I'm very happy for him. Really, really happy. And he deserves it. He deserves that and more because he's putting in the work. And not only that, but him and Blair Cops, they both stepped it up after the Virgil fight fell through, and it lived up to his expectations. Lex performed very, very well. And like I said, he deserves all the credit and some for what he's done so far because he's still young. He's a baby still. and he's still learning. And the thing that makes me very proud of him is that he's very, very hungry. He learns. He learns quick. He's not the type of fighter that thinks he knows everything and is just gonna bypass any advice you give him. He's the opposite. He takes criticism very well, and he dresses really sharp too.
I know you mentioned that he's the younger brother, and you're the guy with the who's been in the world title fights. But do you learn? I mean, training side by side with him, do you learn anything just even watching him go about his business?
Yeah, I learned a lot of things from Lex. To be honest with you, the one thing that I do learn from Lex is just the patience. I'm always the type of guy that likes to go out there and just always going at 100 miles an hour, whether I'm doing everything. Even yesterday, we were supposed to have a light workout from my training coach. And that would slow me down because I was still going 100 miles an hour. And just looking at Lex, he's younger than me, but he slows everything down. And I just think that's the key. It's just being relaxed, and you learn from that. You always anybody you're around, you're gonna pick up stuff from. And I just learned to be more relaxed, but I also incorporated my own little thing of having fun with it. I've been having such a great time this training camp. It's been a very great camp overall, because to me, it's just as important what you're doing when your coaches aren't watching you than when they're watching you.
You just said it's been an enjoyable camp. Is it more enjoyable than the lead up to the, I know you mentioned that you let the moment get to you a little bit for the Vargas fight. As this training camp, it's like things go slower for you, that everything's not kind of rushing, and that's how maybe you can enjoy it a little bit more.
Yeah, of course, man. You gotta enjoy minute by minute. Even like the interviews too. I'm enjoying the interviews. I'm enjoying I'm not gonna say making weight, because my weight's been pretty good, and I feel good. Like, I feel really, really good. I've been within like 7 pounds, and it's just, I feel really good. Like, they have to slow me down, and not in a bad way, like in a good way. Save it for the fight. So everything's been, like I said, it's been an awesome camp, but it's been an enjoyable camp too. And I'm gonna enjoy every minute from here to the fight, even after the fight too. I'm gonna enjoy every single minute. I'm not gonna let nothing interfere with me trying to accomplish my dreams.
I know fighters, or even all athletes, you heard last week, Steph Curry, they used all kinds of motivation and people talking about them. A couple of weeks ago, Stephen Fulton wins a fight, and the first words out of his mouth, "I want MJ." You think you're being overlooked a little bit for Saturday night?
I think I am. I think I really am, and I think a lot of it has to do with my previous losses. So I think that that gives people, the option to just overlook me. But like I said, one fight at a time. I'm here to focus on MJ. I'm here to fight one of the best fighters that people have said. And like I said, I'm excited. I can't describe to you how excited I am.
I don't know if you watched that fight live, or, I don't know if you heard, but when you read those comments, does it piss you off a little bit, for lack of a better term?
No, not at all. Like I said, I'm here to prove myself right. I don't, there's a lot of negative comments. I don't really pay attention to that stuff. I read it, but I don't, it's like whatever. It's like, at the end of the day, as long as I go out there and I get those 2 belts, I've accomplished my dream. I've accomplished my goal. And that's all that matters.
So would it be safe to say, if you get your hand raised on Saturday night, are we going to say, "I want Stephen Fulton"?
One fight at a time. Of course, I've never ducked anybody, and I've always trusted my promoter to put the best fights in front of me, and they have. So, like I said, one fight at a time. Let's go get these 2 belts, and then we'll speak after the 25th.
What do you want to say to the fans in closing before we let you go? See you Saturday night against MJ Akhmadaliev. 222-pound belts on the line, live on DAZN.
I just want to thank all the fans for sending me messages and wishing me luck, and just the continuing support. Without you guys, it wouldn't be as fun as it is. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and best of luck.
Thank you.
There you have it. Ronny Rios, a perennial contender at 122 pounds. As we mentioned, he's had the fight with Ray Beltran. He's got back on the horse, and he lost the fight, I know, to DAZN Plus Undefeated, and now he's getting an opportunity to fight 1A in the division, as a lot of people think, with Stephen Fulton's MJ Akhmadaliev. We'll get into some predictions in a few minutes. Just a couple more things going on here. Saturday night in Mexicali, Mexico, ESPN Plus, we have the WBC light flyweight elimination bout between Hecky Butler, 33-4, 10 knockouts, take on Elwin Soto, 19-2 with 13 knockouts. And here's one that's one of the funniest things, I think, in boxing. Well, it's not so funny that Jarrell Miller, Big Baby Miller, 23-1 with 20 knockouts, is going to make his return to the ring after his long suspension for testing positive. He takes on Esteban Brancamante in Argentina. And ironically, this is in the WBA Say No to Drugs card. So I don't make this stuff up. I'm just reporting some news. Speaking of news, we've got some news items this week. The unified WBA IBF WBO champion Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua will finally get it on. They have a date, August 20th. That fight will be in Saudi Arabia. They're calling it Rage on the Red Sea. I like stuff like that when they make names up for fights. We'll see. I kind of like Usyk again. I mean, we'll see. But we'll see if Joshua turns the tide, much like he did the last time he went to Saudi Arabia against Andy Ruiz Jr. Heavyweight Joe Joyce, 13-12 knockouts, will return to the ring to take on Christian Hammer, 27-9 with 17 knockouts. That fight will take place July 2nd in London. So I guess a stay busy fight for Joyce as he either waits for a world title shot, which may take a while, or a big fight opportunity. On August the 6th, 18-0, 18 knockouts, Virgil Ortiz Jr. will take on the guy he was supposed to fight a month or so back, Michael McKinson. McKinson, 22-0 with 2 knockouts. It's kind of like one end of the spectrum against the other. You got the perfect knockout streak in Ortiz, taking on McKinson, who's got 2 knockouts in his 22 wins. That fight will be streamed live on the DAZN and will take place in Fort Worth, Texas, I believe. Yes, at the Dickies Arena. George Kambosos Jr. will, as expected, will exercise his clause for a rematch against Devin Haney. We'll wait for that date to materialize in the very near future. Finally, Andy Ruiz Jr. will take on Luis Ortiz in a fight that I'm actually looking forward to. I think it's going to be a really fun fight, as they like to say. I don't like using that term when two guys are beating the snot out of each other. I don't know how fun it is for them. Maybe it is. Actually, I've heard fighters say it is fun when they get into wars like that. So that fight will take place in LA at the Crypto.com Arena or the Crypto.com Center, live on Fox pay-per-view Sunday night. I like that stuff. Sunday night, September 4th, Labor Day weekend. Earlier this week, in fact, I was in Pittsburgh broadcasting a fight, and then I ran into an undefeated super bantamweight guy. He's flying under the radar a little bit. Guy by the name of Oleh Dovhun, who is 14-0 and now ranked number 4 in the world by the WBA. So he'll be looking to get a big shot in the future as well. So this is how my conversation with Oleh Dovhun went. Here we are with undefeated and world-ranked super bantamweight Oleh Dovhun. We're here Washington, PA. Just saw a big night of boxing here. Before we get to you, it was a good show here tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for taking an interview. It was a good show. My friends, all friends come and fight, and from Integrity Box Management. And I was excited. Everybody win. Who I won win. And it was good shows in Meadows Casino in Pittsburgh, in Pennsylvania.
For fans who don't know, you were signed to Integrity Management, and as well as Joe DeGuardia Star Boxing, and now you're in the world rankings. You're ranked in the WBA, correct?
Yeah.
What number?
I'm number 4 in WBA right now. Hopefully, soon be number 1. And my dream become true. I want to fight Akhmadaliev, Murodjon Akhmadaliev. I fight twice him before. We have won one, we can make it one time more. And I'll be excited and very appreciative if you give me this opportunity to fight Murodjon Akhmadaliev, because I think he will win next fight.
Obviously, big fight in your division just happened. Stephen Fulton and Danny Roman. Do you think, or what you're hearing, is Fulton going to fight MJ, or
maybe eventually? I be like, say true, like Steve Fulton a little bit different level right now. He world champion. He maybe wants some different, like staying in the line. I'm like go like in WBA line, more Murodjon Akhmadaliev. But if I beat Akhmadaliev, I won the unification title for Steve Fulton. He amazing guy. He amazing boxer. I like his style.
If it's not the world champion, you feel you're close, or maybe you rank number 4, maybe get called for one of those eliminator type of fights?
Yeah, I think it even can happen next time. Next fight, like can eliminate the title, and any who they give me, I fight, you know, because I knew I will win, and that's it.
You built up a great following here, especially in Pittsburgh, and now you just fought in New York. You know, what was that experience?
This was great experience. First time I fight in New York, Long Island, and when I fight, it's like 500 Ukrainian people show up, maybe even more. It was so loud, big support for me, like everybody, like 100 people from Pittsburgh just came, and it was big support, and I very appreciated it. This fight was in Long Island. If you ever fight, next fight, maybe fight before like Murodjon Akhmadaliev for world title, we be sold out in Madison Square Garden.
How much would it mean you know, fighting for a world title, the obvious reasons, obviously with everything going on back at home, and you know, how much would that mean you'd be fighting for a world title?
This means me a lot, because right now not many people can fight Ukrainians. Like Lomachenko, he turned down like undisputed world champion like fights, and Usyk right now fight. This means me a lot, because I can remind everybody about Ukraine, what happened, and say everybody what this war have to stop. Only stop war is what I want right now.
And on that thing, how's your family and friends?
They're okay. They all still in Ukraine. Hopefully they have food and roof, but you know, it's the war in Ukraine. You never know.
Back to boxing. You know, it was a great atmosphere in Pittsburgh. What was that like? You know, coming up fighting some fights here, and did you have the same type of reaction?
Yeah, I have same like here, like last November. I was titled for an NBA WBA title. Was same. It's beautiful, but I think I'm ready for bigger a little bit right now. I have a last fight and maybe next fight. And I want just bigger a little bit. I want just bigger fights.
Whether it's a world title fight or eliminator or some other type of fight, when do we expect to have you back in there?
Hopefully, be before September or 2-3 months. I'll be back and take it. Hopefully, a minute or world title. I don't care. We will see what happens next fight. Murodjon Akhmadaliev fight. Maybe he will win. Maybe he will lose. If everything changes. You never know. This boxing. But I won't fight for world title.
Where the fans find you on social media?
Ukrainian Pitbull and Facebook Oleh Dovhun. I have already verification. You can find me easy. And thank you for interview. Thank you everybody for supporting me. Thank you my Joe the Warrior promoter, integrity management company. Everybody for support. Ukrainian support. Glory to Ukraine. God bless America.
Thank you very much, and we'll
Thank
see
you for your interview.
My pleasure. We'll see you in the ring in a couple months. There you have it, Oleh Dovhun, who's a good young man who I've interviewed him before. First time I got a chance to meet him. Also, got to tell you, this Friday night in Philadelphia, big 14-fight card at the 2300 Arena. RDR Promotions live on bxngtv.com. So if you want to get a good night of fights in, you're in the Philadelphia area. It's 14 big fights in Philly, and then or if you want to just chill out, watch on your computer, or get on the TV screen. bxngtv.com is your place to be. 14 big fights, so it'll be a packed evening of professional boxing. Just want to give you a couple predictions. We'll break down the DAZN card really quick. I'll go with Jesse Rodriguez. I'll go Akhmadaliev, even though Ronny Rios was a guest this week, but Akhmadaliev seems to be the favorite there. The Martinez-Arroyo fight's going to be very interesting, and I'll be interviewing Mick Williams-Arroyo. You'll be able to watch it on the Abrams Boxing social media platforms, Abrams Boxing on YouTube. Martinez coming off a real tough fight where he fought Chocolatito, got beat up a little bit. How about that's gonna be a war, and I think Martinez may squeak it out, and also go with Jessica McCaskill to keep her undisputed welterweight titles. Well, that's our show this week. I want to thank Ronny Rios and Oleh Dovhun. Next week we'll be. What is next week? Next week is July 2nd. I know there's not too much going on, but we'll figure some out. Maybe we'll have 3 guests on next week. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and thank you, and enjoy the fights